Welcome, and thanks for joining this short lecture on strategic management versus operational management. Over the next few minutes, we'll unpack what separates big picture strategy from day-to-day operations, why both are necessary, and how leaders can close the gap so long-term goals actually translate into reliable daily outcomes. This slide defines the scope and purpose of each discipline by contrasting their focus and nature. Strategy decides where the organization wants to go and why, shaping vision and long-term plans, while operations turn those ambitions into daily tasks, resource allocation, and measurable performance. The diagram here helps show how vision funnels into mission, goals, and then practical execution. When we think strategically, we run on a 3 to 5 year runway, scanning markets, building capabilities, and allocating capital early. That means accepting short-term metric dips and investing patiently for future positioning, as the graphic shows, where early resource allocation creates long-term strength and resilience. Operational management lives in short-term timeframes, fiscal cycles, monthly targets, weekly schedules, and daily shifts. The daily operational cycle is a loop of scheduling, monitoring yesterday's data, adjusting and correcting for tomorrow, and keeping a fast reflex to fix problems. Think of operations as the heartbeat that keeps day-to-day service steady. Strategic decisions are the big bets that reshape the business model and can be hard to rewind, like entering a new market or doubling R&D, while operational decisions are the daily tweaks that fine-tune performance, reroute trucks, or adjust call center scripts. Both matter, but they operate on different timelines and reversibility. This slide contrasts two mindsets. Strategy looks outward and speculative, scanning competitors, regulators, technologies, and macro shocks for opportunity spaces, while operations looks inward and forensic, tracking variances like cycle time or defect rate and triggering corrective action. Translating threats into opportunities and variances into action is the core skill here. Ownership and information flow split responsibility across the organization. Board members and executives set mission, allocate capital, and define risk appetite. Then authority and instructions cascade downward, while operational insight and frontline data flow upward. Successful firms manage that two-way exchange so strategy stays informed and operations stay aligned. Both strategy and operations rely on toolkits, but to answer different questions. Strategists use SWOT, Porter's 5 forces, and scenario planning to reduce ambiguity about the future, while operators use SOPs, Six Sigma dashboards, and Kanban to reduce variability in execution. The point is, both demand data, just framed in different ways. The translation gap happens when lofty strategic goals get lost in middle manager decoding, producing misaligned weekly priorities and execution drift. The consequence is budgets misaligned, frontline energy dissipated, and orphan strategy. The key takeaway is that the most common failure isn't bad strategy or weak operations, but the inability to bridge intent to daily work. High-performance firms operate as a closed-loop system where operations generate customer data, capacity signals, and cost insights that feed a continuous dialogue with strategy teams. That feedback loop helps revise assumptions, reallocate funds quarterly, and produce living roadmaps so executives stop chasing yesterday's battles and start learning from today's signals. There are 5 micro steps that weld strategy to operations without adding bureaucracy. Capture a single strategic objective on half a page. Pick 3 operational KPIs that support it. Assign a clear owner for each KPI. Schedule a short monthly 15-minute review to check progress, and reward joint success, so collaboration replaces siloed wins. The actionable framework to integrate strategic and operational thinking starts by identifying a recurring operational problem, then challenging the strategic assumption that may underlie it, communicating the mismatch with your team, and agreeing a focused experiment to close the gap. The expected outcome is practical integration, improving today's numbers while practicing the long-term thinking strategy demands.